Have you ever wondered what happens to intimacy after menopause? Does a woman's sex life simply fade away with age, or can it actually transform into something deeper, more fulfilling, and even more powerful? For generations, menopause has been misunderstood. It's often seen as the end of vitality, the end of beauty, and the end of desire. Women entering their 50s and 60s are told, directly or indirectly, that passion belongs to the young and that sex is no longer part of their story. But the truth? That's far from reality. Menopause is not the end of intimacy. In fact, for many women, it becomes the beginning of a whole new chapter. Yes, hormonal changes bring challenges, dryness, discomfort, fluctuating desire. But they also bring freedom. Freedom from pregnancy worries, from monthly cycles, and from the pressures that often come with youth. And here's something most people don't realize. Emotional closeness, affectionate touch, and even sexual satisfaction can actually increase after menopause. If women and their partners learn to adapt, communicate, and explore new ways of connecting. In this video, we'll explore the science, the challenges, and the beauty of sex after menopause. By the end, you may see intimacy in midlife not as a loss, but as a renewal. Understanding menopause and its impact on sex. Menopause usually arrives between ages 45 and 55, though it can occur earlier or later. It officially begins after 12 consecutive months without a menstrual cycle. While biologically natural, the changes it brings can feel anything but simple. The central factor is hormones. Estrogen, the hormone that keeps vaginal tissues thick, elastic, and naturally lubricated, drops sharply. This can lead to dryness, itching, and a condition called vaginal atrophy, where the tissues thin out. Sex that once felt pleasurable may now feel irritating or even painful. Progesterone and testosterone levels also decline. Testosterone, though present in smaller amounts in women, plays an important role in sexual desire. A decline here may explain why some women feel a reduced sex drive. But the story doesn't end with biology. Many women still report strong desires after menopause, proving that sex is not controlled by hormones alone. Intimacy involves the mind, the emotions, and the relationship dynamic. For instance, one woman in her late 50s shared that although she no longer experienced spontaneous desire the way she did in her 20s, she now valued intimacy more deeply because it was rooted in closeness, trust, and relaxation. This shows us a powerful truth. Menopause changes sex, but it doesn't erase it. The emotional and relationship dimension. Physical changes are only one part of the story. The emotional impact of menopause on intimacy can be just as significant. Many women struggle with body image during this stage. Weight gain, wrinkles, or hair thinning may lead them to believe they are less desirable. Cultural stereotypes don't help. Society often glorifies youthful beauty while ignoring the sensuality of older women. These insecurities can create distance in relationships. A woman may avoid intimacy out of fear of rejection. A partner, misinterpreting this avoidance, may feel unwanted. Slowly, silence replaces closeness. This is why communication becomes the lifeline of intimacy after menopause. Talking openly about changes, desires, and fears allows couples to adapt together. A partner who listens with empathy can transform what feels like a loss into a shared journey of rediscovery. In fact, many couples find that sex after menopause becomes more meaningful. Freed from fertility worries, they can enjoy intimacy without the pressure of birth control or pregnancy. With children grown, there is often more time and privacy for romance. For some, this stage even strengthens relationships. One couple in their 60s described sex as less about fireworks, more about warmth. Instead of performance, it became about connection, a slow dance of affection that deepened their bond. Medical and physical challenges. Of course, the challenges are real and must not be ignored. Vaginal dryness and pain. As estrogen levels drop, natural lubrication decreases. Sex may feel uncomfortable, even painful. This pain can discourage women from engaging in intimacy, which then reduces blood flow to the tissues and worsens the problem. Urinary issues. With less estrogen, the urinary tract lining becomes thinner, leading to frequent infections and urgency. This can create embarrassment and avoidance of sex. Pelvic floor weakness. Muscles may weaken, affecting sensation and sometimes causing incontinence. Low libido. Desire may drop, not always because of hormones, but also due to fatigue, stress, or the psychological weight of these changes. Left unaddressed, these issues can create a cycle where discomfort leads to avoidance, avoidance reduces intimacy, and reduced intimacy increases emotional distance. But here's the encouraging part. All of these challenges are treatable. Modern medicine, combined with lifestyle adjustments and emotional support, can help women maintain or even improve their sexual health after menopause. Now we will discuss solutions and treatments. Today, women have more tools than ever to support intimacy after menopause. Lubricants and moisturizers. Over-the-counter water-based or silicone-based lubricants can make sex more comfortable. Vaginal moisturizers used regularly can restore elasticity and hydration. Local estrogen therapy. Creams, vaginal tablets, or estrogen rings deliver hormones directly to vaginal tissues, reducing dryness and pain without affecting the whole body. Systemic hormone therapy, HRT. For broader symptoms like hot flashes, systemic therapy may be prescribed. While not for everyone, it can significantly improve quality of life when monitored by a doctor. Pelvic floor exercises. Kegel exercises improve circulation, sensitivity, and muscle strength, making sex more pleasurable. Lifestyle habits. A balanced diet, hydration, regular exercise, and good sleep all improve energy, mood, and circulation, factors that fuel desire. Mind-body practices, yoga, meditation, and mindfulness enhance body awareness, reduce stress, and increase sexual confidence. Professional help. Sex therapists and counselors can help couples navigate emotional or relational barriers. It's worth noting that sexual wellness is not just a physical concern, it's a part of overall health. When women seek medical support for these issues, they're not being vain. They're taking charge of their well-being, something every woman deserves. Intimacy beyond intercourse. It's time to broaden how we define intimacy. Many couples discover that after menopause, sex evolves into something more creative and emotionally rewarding. Penetration is only one expression of intimacy. Touch, massage, kissing, cuddling, showering together, or simply holding hands while watching a movie can bring the same closeness. For some, this shift actually removes pressure, allowing intimacy to become more playful and affectionate. Women who once felt pressured by expectations now describe this stage as liberating. Without the rush of youth, intimacy slows down. It becomes less about how often and more about how meaningful. Partners who adapt in this way often discover deeper satisfaction. As one woman in her 60s put it, "It's not about chasing passion, it's about savoring connection." This doesn't mean intercourse disappears. With the right adjustments, many couples maintain active sex lives well into their 70s and 80s. But even if the form changes, the essence of intimacy, connection, affection, love remains, breaking the taboo. Perhaps the greatest barrier to sex after menopause is silence. Too often, Women are told, directly or indirectly, that their sexuality ends at midlife. As a result, they avoid discussing the struggles they face, even with doctors. But this silence only adds to suffering. Millions of women around the world share these experiences, yet too few realize that their challenges are common and treatable. The stigma must be broken. Talking about menopause openly, whether with friends, partners, or health professionals, reframes it as a natural transition, not a shameful decline. When women share stories, they empower others. When doctors normalize these conversations, women feel less isolated. And when partners listen with compassion, intimacy becomes stronger than ever. So, does sex end after menopause? Absolutely not. It changes, yes. It may require more care, more communication, and more creativity. But it can remain not only possible, but deeply rewarding. Menopause brings challenges like dryness, discomfort, or lower libido. But it also brings freedom, maturity, and a chance to redefine intimacy in ways that youth never allowed. For women, this stage can be empowering. It's no longer about reproduction or social expectations. It's about personal pleasure, emotional connection, and the joy of loving and being loved. If you're going through menopause, remember this. You are not broken. You are evolving. Your desires, your intimacy, and your right to pleasure remain valid at every stage of life. And if you're a partner, know this. Your patience, empathy, and willingness to adapt can make all the difference. Menopause isn't the end of intimacy. It's the opening of a new chapter. A chapter where sex is not about age, but about connection. Not about performance, but about presence. And not about endings, but about rediscovery.